Dan the Natural Man Show. Hello. Now, you probably don't know, but it's been a while since I made a video. Maybe 2-3 weeks. I don't know. There's a big reason for this. And I don't know how to say it without, getting in more trouble. Let's just say there's powers in this world that don't like free moving your mouth, making sounds, that kind of thing. So it's a little discouraging sometimes. You're like, man, I'm doing all this hard work, but then you get kind of slapped, like a red-headed something or another. But I'm back, and I wanted to make a video today. My videos have to be a lot more thought out now, I think. But a good video today, I think, would be about Hawthorn berry. Especially Hawthorn berry syrup, the one made by Dr. Christopher, and making your own organic Hawthorn berry tincture at home. When I make a Hawthorn berry tincture at home, I use dried organic Hawthorn berries. I get these from Mountain Rose Herbs. I use organic Hawthorn berries, organic Hawthorn leaves, and organic Hawthorn flowers. I use all these in my tincture. I want to give you a quick story about this. One reason I'm so adamant about, I'm going to give you two stories. Two reasons I'm really, really adamant about Hawthorn berry. My parents had a dog. This has been a few years ago, a little chihuahua, little long-haired chihuahua. He was started acting funny. My dad would walk him on a leash, and the little dog sometimes would fall on the ground and kind of like squirm around a little bit for maybe 30 seconds to a minute and get back up, and he was okay. So this went on for a little while. We decided to take him to the vet. Well, the vet listens to us, checking him out. When he starts to listen to his heart, he said the bottom of the dog's heart was not working properly. It was getting weak. It was failing. The bottom of his heart was failing. And of course the vet writes him a prescription for some heart drug, and he said it may or may not work. And then of course the side effects on the bottle says it can cause heart failure. I mean, it's, we live in this ridiculous sitcom, I feel like sometimes. Especially when it comes to the medical world, a heart drug, but it's supposed to keep your heart from failing, but it can cause what you're taking it for to prevent. Right? Isn't it weird? Anyway, so I told Daniel, don't give that to him. I'll give him this Hawthorn berry that I make, this tincture, and I'll give him some cayenne pepper. So I gave him the Hawthorn berry. Well, he started giving the cayenne pepper, Hawthorn berry. As time goes on, the dog starts having less spells like this, and eventually he gets to where he may have one of those spells every few months. 3 years later from that first vet visit, my mom takes him back. She just wanted to, and the guy had forgotten. Well, he looked at the paper, he checked the dog's heart, and he looked really surprised. He goes, well, the dog's heart's fine. And he looked at the paper, he looked really confused. He didn't understand why the heart was doing better. He asked her if she gave him those drugs. She goes, no. And he's like, really? Of course, my mom didn't tell him, we were getting herbs. But anyway, proves that the herbs were healing the dog's heart. Second story is one of my great mentors, Dr. Richard Schultz. He is a master herbalist as well. He went to the same school, the School of Natural Healing, under Dr. Christopher. Now, he was lucky enough to be there when Dr. Christopher was still living. And that's with all due respect to David Christopher. David Christopher is awesome too. Thank God we still have him. So Dr. Richard Schultz, when he was 19 years old, now he was I think he was of German descent, and his family ate horrible shit like blood for breakfast, Haagen-Dazs, all the fatty meats and fatty cuts of meat, all that. The things that run your cholesterol through the roof, clog up your arteries, and cause heart failure. So at 19, this guy, his heart was so bad that he was passing out. blacking out. So he goes to the doctor one day and they said, 3 of your heart valves are screwed up. We're going to have to replace them all because there's nothing else you can do about it. The body can't do anything about that. We're going to have to replace them. And at the time, Dr. Schultz didn't know anything about natural healing, so he met a guy that in the same situation, another guy around his age, and they became friends. And that guy's surgery they met was that day. And the next day was Schultz's surgery. So Schultz come in the next morning and he's like, hey, how does Sam's surgery go? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, well, he died on the table. So that scared Schultz, which it was scaring most people, right? So Schultz hightails it out of there. He says, no thanks. It's not for me then. And he starts gathering his own on his own. This is back in the 70s too, you have to remember. He starts gathering information at health food stores, other natural healers in the community. So he finds out about Hawthorn berry, cayenne, vegetarian diets, juicing, all these things. And so he did a 2-week juice fast. But he said he was going through 50 pounds of Hawthorn berries a week. He was eating them, juicing them, making tinctures. He was also going through almost the same amount of cayenne pepper every week. And he starts to feel better too. He said after 2 weeks on the fast, he could tell his heart was stronger. That, you know, you can just tell when you're healing. It's a sense that we have as humans. Long story short, he gets better. You know, he starts exercising too. He stays, you know, on a plant-based diet. He keeps taking the herbs. 3 years later, he goes back to the doctor just to get the heart checked again. The X-ray it. And the doctor says, man, your heart is perfect. Everything's perfect. The valves look at everything. Then the doctor looks at the chart from 3 years ago. He's like, wait a minute. Is this the right chart? This can't be true. Because did I mix up charts? Schultz like, no, this is me. I was here. And he told the doctor, do you want to hear what I did? The doctor's like, no, I don't want to hear it. And he storms off, right? And that's the mentality of some people. Now, these are just 2 stories, amazing stories. Other people, if you look around on Amazon, look at Dr. Christopher's Hawthorn berry syrup, and you will see testimonials under there, people that had arrhythmias and all these things with their heart, and the Hawthorn berry syrup was able to help these things tremendously, okay? And over in Europe, they use Hawthorn berry and congestive heart failure. It's not used here in America because America is dominated by pharmaceutical sales. Hopefully I can say that. I don't know. The world we live in. And I think it's about to get crazier in a very, very short time. Let's hope not. But my God. If the last 4 years are any indication, who knows, right? But I hope you liked the video about Hawthorn. And Hawthorn can be used as a preventative to keep your heart healthy or in times of need. One thing you need to remember about Hawthorn berry is a very safe herb. It's a berry. The more you use of it, the better it works. The only thing that you may have to, you know, if you're on some kind of a digitoxin for your heart, digitoxin, something like that, I wouldn't recommend combining Hawthorn with digitoxin drug. But other than that, it seems to be safe with all the other things. So yeah, Hawthorn berry is amazing. It is also known as food for the heart. So if you like this video, please like and share it. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my page, DanTheNaturalMan.com. And remember, until next time, keep it natural.